Hello and welcome to Special Guest on the Motocross Network. My name is Trevor and I'll be your host. Today we have on Muc Off Honda's Mitchell Harrison. So how you doing, man?
Hi, doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. So, what a year. Even since I've last talked to you, so much has happened for you.
Yeah, it really has. From going to PC to Muc Off Honda, I've been very fortunate this year.
I know, it's hard to believe that a year ago, you were overseas racing MXGP. I forgot playing MXGP 2020, the game, and I'm like, oh, Mitchell Harrison's in here. I forgot he was doing this at this time last year. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm actually. I think I was in the 2019 or 2020 SX game as well, since I did the 19 Supercross season.
Oh, yep. I forgot about that.
So I was in two video games.
Yeah, it's got to be a cool
Basically.
feeling. I never really talked to anybody about that when I'm talking to riders like you, but that's got to be a cool feeling to have yourself in a video game.
Yeah, when you grow up, playing Unleashed and whatnot, you build your own character. But then to actually be in one, it's a unique feeling.
Oh, it's got to be. So like I said, a year ago, you were signed with Bud Racing Kawasaki, racing MX2 Championship. COVID hit, you had to come home, and then I'm pretty sure because of COVID, the European Union banned you from coming over there. So you're kind of stuck here. Signed with Pro Circuit Kawasaki for outdoors, and you did pretty good in outdoors.
Yeah, no, with the COVID situation, it it was just a difficult task to get back over. Yeah, we didn't want to risk anything. We didn't know what COVID was at that time. It could have been incredibly deadly. It is deadly, but yeah, I got fortunate and got the PC ride, and I thought I did fairly well in outdoors. I thought I could have done a lot better, but we fixed a lot of stuff since then. So I'm feeling amazing coming into Supercross.
I'd imagine. When I was watching you throughout the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross season, I was like, man, he's actually doing pretty good over here on this new team. So much has changed. Just that makes it hard. So you're doing good, and then there were a couple of races that I figured you could do better. And
Sure.
I saw that you finished 8th overall in the championship. I was like, that's not bad at all. That's pretty fantastic for coming back to the United States for the first time in a little while on a new team, a whole new situation with COVID, and it's just pretty cool to see you did that good.
Yeah, when I went over to Europe, it helped me as a rider a tremendous amount. So I came back more mature with a different riding style. And, just being back in the States was awesome. And then being on Pro Circuit really gives you another level with your confidence. And, the 8th in the championship was fairly good for being 3 weeks on the bike before the season, not even knowing I was going to do the season a month before it started. You always have the sense like, yeah, I could have done better, but looking at it, it was a great accomplishment. It helped my career in such a tremendous way, and I can't thank Mitch and the whole team at Pro Circuit for helping me get back to where I need to be.
Oh, yeah, with his help, he pretty much put you back on the map in the United States as a rider. Because people forget riders pretty quickly. So, you went over there, people forgot, and then you come back and, oh, yeah, I forgot about that guy, and you got a factory fill-in ride, so now your name is back established over here. And I'd imagine
Exactly.
that helped you earning your deal with Muc Off Honda.
No, yeah, people wrote me off. I didn't do that great over in Europe. There's could be many reasons, but it's just different over there. But as a rider, it helped me an incredible amount. So just coming back and playing the rides I did and actually putting myself back on the map, yeah, I wouldn't be on Muc Off Honda if it wasn't for that.
Exactly, and as you're saying about the MX2, people writing you off, that happens a lot because in our sport, for some reason, it's different than other sports. In other sports, there's hundreds of professional athletes that everybody supports and loves, and then in our sport, it's like the top 10 guys are the only ones that people seem to really support, and I think that's a weird situation for our sport.
Yeah, I think it's even worse than that. I think it's the top five. You're not taking top five week in, week out, podiuming. You're going to get written off pretty easily, and you're not going to have rides. You're not going to have followers. So it's just you got to be up there. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I like to win. I like to be up front, so I got to work harder to be in that position.
Oh yeah, and this year that's going to be especially difficult because if 250 West is going to be as deep of a field as East, I'd imagine it's going to be tough. The 250 class and the 450 class, it's stacked this year in Supercross. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, no matter what, I've heard a lot of people say that the 250 West is going to be more stacked, but at the end of the day, when you're trying to win a championship, it's going to be hard no matter what. Okay. And I just want to be in the position to where at the end of the season, I'm competing for the championship. The consistency is a major part, and riding this Muc Off Honda, the bike's incredible, and the way I feel on it, I haven't felt like this in years, so I'm just extremely excited to go out racing.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see you as well. I've been watching all the videos you post on Instagram and stuff, and you're looking faster than you were on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki. You look smooth, consistent. You look comfortable in Supercross, which surprised me because you've raced MXGP for a while. But I heard rumors that you had said that GPs helped you tremendously with Supercross. That kind of confused me. Is that a true statement?
I think just because of how I had to ride over there, you have to be smoother. You have to stand more. I mean, if you watch Roxon, a GP rider, and Muskin, they stand an incredible amount, especially in Supercross. But I think it helped me calm down, which in Supercross you kind of need, so you don't clip stuff. I was just too antsy, and I wanted to get into rhythms, get out, but I clip stuff. And Supercross is an art where I think that's where the GPs helped me out a lot.
Absolutely, and if you come on the line anxious and you get the lead, then the anxiety really kicks in, and that could be dangerous. I mean, you've seen many riders, like Jet Lawrence last year. He's winning the race, and then Ferrandis is on his tail. The crowd's going nuts. The pressure gets to you, and he cracks, and you got to learn from that sort of stuff to do good, especially in Supercross.
Yeah, in Supercross, I mean, you got to be calm. And it's the mistakes that take you out of the lead. It's tenths of mistakes that is between first and fifth. So if you can get everything clean, you can have smooth corners. It's just smooth and fast. So if I can do that, which I've been working really hard on with my dad and my trainer Justin Boyd, and just be smooth and fast, I think I can really contend and be a podium guy week in and week out.
Oh, for sure. I wanted to mention this. I talked to a former competitor of yours today, Elvin Ostland. I wanted to ask if you guys ever got to know each other. I mean, did you ever have battles or anything?
We had battles for sure. Incredible rider, and I think we matched up a bit. We were both just a top 10 guy. Starts are hard, so we'd be battling off a bit. I never really got to talk to him, but again, just a lot of those riders over there, the depth of that class up to 15th and almost 20th they're incredibly fast.
Oh, absolutely. Another thing I noticed about the GPs is it seems like there's a lot more opportunity for teams. It seems like there's half the teams over here than there are over there. There's a lot of, I don't understand. Is there more funding that's something I'd love to know. The GPs seem to have more teams.
I really couldn't tell you with that. Yes, there is, but it's weird. It's hard to compete with the KTM team and the bikes that they're running. I believe are a couple years ahead of everybody else's. Because as a GPs, you don't have to ride the same year. I don't know if that rule has changed, but that's what I was told. So there's a lot of it's essentially privateer teams, and then you got Husqvarna and KTM, and it's just incredibly difficult to run with them. And to me, over there, it's more like Formula One. Like you got your Mercedes, Ferrari, and then the rest of us are like the Haas's or the Racing Points. Yeah, we can podium or possibly win at any moment, but it's a lot more difficult, especially with how the start grid is. So, and like how the tracks are laid out, it's just completely different racing. But it helped me so much, and everybody over there is just incredibly fast, so that makes it even harder.
Oh, absolutely. Those guys, I believe riders like you who go over there. I mean, I saw this with Osborne too, Zach Osborne. He went over there for a while and he came back a different rider. You learn, for some reason, it's so much tougher over there, and it makes you a stronger racer when you come back here. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Zach, he had success over there. He was over there for a while too, so I'm sure that helped him out a tremendous amount in his career. And I actually, before going over there, I had a conversation with Zach, and I was like, "Is this a good idea?" And, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it seems like a great idea, but I mean, it's your decision." He just, I just need some reassurance, and I'm good friends with Zach, and he's helped me a lot since I've been at Husky, so I can't thank him enough.
Well, I'd imagine he was a lot of help. I mean, he could definitely give you a lot of tips and support with his experience. So, before I get on to my last questions, something came to my mind. I was wondering, do you ever have any, like when you're in MXGP, did you have any struggles fitting in culturally? Because in all these different countries, you're going to some countries, you don't know the political standing between the United States and whatever country you're in. So have you ever experienced like, I don't know, kind of being dissed for being United States going over there? Because a lot of guys I've heard from in the past had that happen to them.
I found it more that people were very interested in the U.S. It seems like everybody wanted to come over to the U.S., which, I mean, it was amazing over there. Where I was at, Source Hospital, France, was just like a beach tourist, like perfect destination for me. There's a lot of English speaking people, but it just seemed like everybody wanted to come over to the U.S. and even going to Russia, like everybody was fascinated with the U.S. and it's just different. And going over there, it's like the west part of Europe is just so clean and so nice, and you get more towards the east, and it's a little bit, I don't want to say dirtier, but and then going into Russia, it's completely different. It's just very unique. But no, I never got shunned or anything. Everybody was very respectable. I never had an issue being, I guess, an American over there.
Well, that's a good thing, because that was one of my worries for like these riders going over there, or even if I went over to watch a GP or something. It just seemed weird to me, because I've heard there's obviously a lot of stories of American journalists that go overseas and never come home. So there's other sorts of stuff.
I think with journalism, it's different than a professional athlete. I mean, we're just there to go race, and and people who are at the races just want to see you ride.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
when I was in Indonesia, like the kids and whatnot, it's very poor over there, but they just loved it. They just wanted to be there, just in the presence, and it was just an incredible feeling. And just all the GP events, they were just going ballistic because they just loved the passion for the sport.
Yeah, that's got to be a cool feeling for a rider to go to these countries and have these people who kind of look at motocross like, because they're from a poorer area, they look at it like some, I don't know how to explain it, not magical, but more modern, like it's new to them. It's first world, they're third world, so it's got to be interesting to them.
Yes, they're just incredibly interested, and it was really just like that over in Indonesia. But like Europe, they understood it. They have it. They race. Everybody races. But overall, it's just an amazing experience. So I was really happy to go over there. I would encourage anybody in the U.S. that has the opportunity or is struggling a little bit to go over there. I mean, it'll help you as a person. It'll help you as a rider. But I strongly think it will help anybody.
Oh yeah, in the future, I would love to go visit any MXGP because that's got to be, as a fan, just incredible. Because I myself went to the 2018 Motocross of Nations at Redbud, and that's just an incredible feeling. Seeing all these people from all these different countries, and it's just crazy.
It's basically, yeah, it's like Redbud everywhere. It's not just only Redbud because they're unreal there, but everybody wears like that. They're just intense. There's a lot of fans. They're going ballistic. There's smoke. It's just awesome.
Now that we've talked about the GPs for a while, I'd like to get back to what you're doing now. So Muc Off Honda. So you've been on all these different Cowie teams, and you mentioned Husky a while ago. Now that you're on Muc Off Honda, you look so comfortable on it. How does it compare to the other bikes you've been on?
It's a very, very easy handling bike. Sorry. I can corner amazing on it. You know, the first ride, testing it to see if I wanted to ride on it, it was just incredible. And I immediately felt comfortable. I did all the Supercross jumps first lap just by looking at them. There's just a sense of comfort. It's quite incredible how comfortable I feel on it. So it just makes you so much more excited and getting ready for the season. And I'm not so tense as in years past, like wondering if I'm ready or not. Like I'm ready. I'm ready right now. So it's going to be a really good year.
Oh, I hope. I mean, if you're feeling comfortable, being comfortable on your bike and being ready, that is the first steps to success. And then confidence, and once you get that, you can really go somewhere.
Yeah, confidence is a huge thing. I mean, I started working with a mental coach, Kevin Modi, with Modi Training, and that's just helped me tremendously. So overall, I'm just a different person than I was from the beginning of 2020. So a lot has changed with me. A lot has changed with the world. So I'm just ready to get back racing.
Absolutely. Couple more questions left for you. Do you like the new schedule for Monster Energy Supercross? I've been asking Supercross riders this frequently because it's interesting to hear what they've got to say about doing 3 races a week possibly. How do you feel about that?
I like it. If say you have a good race, you want to go back out and just race again, or same thing with a bad race, you just want to go back out and prove your worth again, but instead of a week, you got a couple of days. I feel like it might be easier because you just do it back to back to back, and then you have a little bit of a break, and then back to back to back. And also, the Atlanta races, if they're anything like the Daytona races, which I love Daytona, I think that'll be awesome. I wish they would steer more towards that style of racing instead of Supercross, because they did a GP in Charlotte a few years ago at the dirt track.
Yeah.
And it was like a stadium. It was like a stadium.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty cool.
It was awesome. And it was a motocross track, but you could see everything. So I wish they would go more towards that, because that's more of what, motocross is what we grew up on. And I just don't really want to see Supercross take over, especially these 43-second lap times. I mean, Supercross is awesome, but outdoors is just what we grew up on, and it's just that how we came to love the sport.
Yeah, I find watching Supercross, it's awesome, but it's nothing like outdoors. I like outdoors way better just because the intensity of it. I mean, for somebody to go 30 minutes plus 2, you have to be so physically fit and so well trained on the bike and everything to do that twice in a weekend. That's insane.
I love it too. It's just that grueling. It's so hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's just completely different. I mean, Supercross, just how you have to ride the two. It doesn't even. They don't even compare. So I wish they would do more of those, like that Charlotte round, Daytonas. But I'm excited to do the Atlantas this year.
Yeah, Daytona reminds me of a smaller MXGP track because it's not really Supercross. They have the triples and everything, but it's not as tightly compacted as every Supercross race. So it does remind me of an MXGP race. And I hope they do something like that with Atlanta because it's at a NASCAR speedway as well. So
Exactly. Yeah, Daytona. I'd say it's more towards motocross. I mean, it's pretty. It's tight, but the way the track develops, and I mean, there's hardly any rhythms that might throw you off, but it develops like a motocross track.
absolutely. So my final question for you is: do you ever plan to go back to the GPs?
You know, it would have to depend on who calls me up, where I'm at in my life. I loved it over there, but I like it. I like where I'm at right now with this Muc Off Honda team. You know, Yuriv is very passionate. We got amazing sponsors, the new Muc Off sponsor, and I'm just extremely happy where I'm at right now. So I haven't considered it yet.
Well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from because from what I've seen, Muc Off Honda is a really cool team that kind of popped up out of nowhere for me. That's when I had messaged you and I was like, are you going privateer? Because all I saw on your Instagram and on your social media was just a post with a couple sponsors. I was like, what's going on? And then Muc Off Honda comes out. It's a cool team. And I really hope they do good. I mean, Brayton got a podium already, so they're having success already.
Yeah, the team is doing really well. I was really excited for Brayton. You know, Oldenburg's doing really well.
Yes.
He had a bad weekend this weekend, but he'll rebound fine. You know, Brayton is still like 6 points off, 9 points off. So if you can just keep it consistent, you know, the team has all the makings to be a great team. So it's just fun to be a part of.
Oh, I'd imagine. So for the year, I'd say consistency is definitely key this year. If you watch both 450 and 250 class, the guys who are doing the best in points are the ones who are consistent, not winning necessarily, except Craig. Craig's doing, like, absolutely fantastic. But other than that, everyone else is just being consistent or bouncing back and forth, making them lower in the point standings. So consistency is going to be key.
Nope, that is exactly what I'm going to be focusing on. The 250 class, it's going to be more press that I win. Where the 450 class is the longer series, so you don't have to win as much, especially since people are taking 10ths and then wins and then 14ths and whatnot. But our class, we have to be much more consistent, especially since it's a 8-round series.
Yeah, half the series.
But if I can just stay up in that podium area and keep myself in the mix and grow my confidence in Supercross, I'll be extremely happy. And we'll see where I end up at the last round.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll be rooting for you the whole way.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to join me again. I wish you the best, man, and good luck this year.
Thank you so much. Glad to be on.
Yep. Thank you. I'd love to talk to you again. Hopefully it's after you get either a podium or a win sometime this year. I hope to see you do that good. I can definitely see you in the future being on the podium at least.
You know, right now I just feel everything's good and feeling confident and just having a great time riding my dirt bike. So I think that might happen this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, being happy is a pretty big priority in anybody's career, so.
Huge.
All right. Thank you for being on. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Talk to you.
All right. Thank you, man. Bye. Thank you for listening to Special Guest on the Motocross Network. If you enjoyed this podcast, give us a follow if you're on Spotify, or subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. For the latest race results, news articles, or opinion articles, visit themotocrossnetwork.com. This podcast was produced by the Motocross Network. Everything Moto, period.